A warm welcome to you to my channel. In this video, we will be discussing about perceptual selection. Okay, we have understood in the previous videos that we select certain information. We only process or we only let or allow only specific information to reach our minds, to reach our conscious minds. In spite of we being exposed to a whole lot of information, we selectively pay our attention to certain information. And what factors do really impact that selection process? What information do we select and what information do we ignore? Based on what or what factors do we do that? That is what we are going to understand in this video. Okay, basically perceptual selection is driven by two sets of factors, the external and the internal factors. Okay, let us see what they are. The internal factors, internal in the sense, internal factors internal to the human nature, internal to the human beings, like whatever is going on in the mind of the human being. Based on that, we select certain information and we ignore certain other information. Okay, so based on personality, what kind of a person or what kind of a nature you are or you have, what personality type are you? Are you bubbly, outgoing, outspoken, fun-loving, thrill-loving kind of a person, or are you a very introvert kind of a person? Based on the nature of the individual's personality, we select certain information and we ignore the other. Okay, so for example, you are a very outgoing kind of a person, you like excitement, you like thrill, you love to experience new things. Say for example, you are that kind of a person, you have that kind of a personality. So you obviously will be looking more towards such, outspoken kind of brands. You prefer a little excitement in the brand choices that you make. Okay, in contrast to that, you are a very introvert kind of a person, then you are not so much in favor of loud brands or loud display of objects, loud display of possessions. Okay, so you ignore all that information which is very loud, which is very very objective, I mean very what you call that, you prefer certain low profile kind of brands in your brand choice. Okay, so that is how personality influences the kind of information we receive or the kind of information we select to enter our conscious minds. Okay, next, motivations. What kind of motivations or motives do we have as a person? Okay, are you like what needs are important to you? Okay, what motivations are important? What motivates you? Are you driven by what kind of needs? That influences the kind of information you select consciously. Okay, say for example, in motivation, like what motivates you? Are you more social affiliation? Do you prefer lots of social affiliation? That is what motivates you. Then your brand choices will be similar, like what you prefer certain brands which are socially more acceptable or which your influences, like your reference groups or your family and friends are choosing. You also pay attention to such kind of information which allows you to be more socially acceptable, or whatever the people or the reference groups that you prefer, they choose. you also are very likely to choose the very similar set of information. You also are more likely to, select that piece of information to go through your cognitive process. Okay. Next, experiences, like our past experiences with the brands or our past experiences with a person, that whatever experience we had in the past, that definitely will have an influence on the kind of information that we choose to enter our cognitive process. Okay. So these are certain internal factors to a person which influence the perceptual selection of information. Okay. So the rest of the things they ignore, right? So for example, experience, like you have a very positive experience with a brand, right? So you are more likely to receive consciously whatever information or whatever communication that particular marketer or that particular brand sends you. Okay. So that is how internal factors will be affecting the perceptual selection. And coming to the external set of factors that really influence the perceptual selection. Size. If you observe, something bigger in size always attracts our attention, right? So maybe that is the reason why marketers, they try to pack bigger packs, like family packs, many items packed in under one carton or something like that. Okay. So size definitely attracts something more visible, size in the sense whatever that catches the attention of our eyes. Bigger in size means more attention will be drawn towards it, and usually that attracts the that goes through the selection process, like we get attracted to something big. Okay. So that is how size influences our perceptual selection. Similarly, intensity. Intensity in the sense like whatever, like it may be the intensity of the voice or the intensity of the color choice of the package, or the color combinations that the marketers use for their packing or in their advertisement, or the intensity of the voice that they use in the advertisements. That intensity definitely catches the attention of the consumers. Okay. The more intense something is, the more depth it has, that really catches our attention. Okay. Similarly, contrast. Contrast is always attractive. It always passes through our senses, right? Contrast. Say for example, you can very easily notice a female that is there in a group of 20 males, because there is a big contrast. So that contrast, it may be it can be used in terms of, say, colors or any cosmetic changes or cosmetic appeals. That contrasting thing, that contrast from the background, that contrast definitely attracts, and people will select certain that piece of information which is contrasting, right? So that is contrast can be a very appealing thing when it comes to marketing and advertising. Okay. Similarly, motion, that movement always attracts. Say for example, you are organizing a meeting and everybody is sitting. Suddenly if a person gets up and walks out, everyone notices that person because he is moving. That person, that movement always attracts the attention. Okay. Similarly, repetition, like repeatedly if you say something, that goes into the mind, conscious mind. Okay, this is the reason why, advertisements, no matter how big the brand is, no matter how big the marketer is, they keep repeating the ads. Okay, irrespective of, the size of the organization or the brand reach, they keep repeating something because they want to communicate with you as a consumer. Okay, repeatedly they want to send communications. They want to remind the people, that the consumer, that we are present in the market, we are offering so and so to the market. Okay, when you say something repeatedly, that naturally catches the attention. We select that particular brand because when you go to a showroom, then because of this repeated appeal, that somewhere is registered in your mind, and when you see that, there is every possibility that you choose that product or that brand. Okay, next is novelty. Something new or something different, it catches the attention. Okay, so whatever is different from the existing things, that will be more likely to get the more likely to be selected by the consumers. This is the reason why so many fancy brands or so many new brands, be it a new packaging or new advertising, new forms of new variants. This is the reason, novelty, something, if you are offering something new to the consumer segments, then more likely that your brand may be selected. Okay, similarly, familiarity. If you are more familiar with something, you tend to believe that that brand is so close to you. Okay, so that is the reason why so many marketers, they announce that they are in the market since so that particular year, we are in the market for the past 50 years, for the past 30 years. Okay, that means they are trying to say that they are so familiar, they are so being there for in the market for so many years, so that familiarity concept. Okay, so that is where trust is built, and there is every possibility that that particular product is selected by the consumers. Okay, so this is about perceptual selection and the factors that drive the perceptual selection. Okay, thank you.